Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Imran Riaz Khan to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Imran Riaz Khan's words. The scandal we told you about earlier, where non-customs, smuggled or illegal vehicles were being legalized through manipulation of the customs auction system, more details have now emerged on this. Billions of rupees in losses were being inflicted on the Pakistani government. Now, the next scandal I want to inform you about, the government has arrested 13 individuals, suspended 2 officers, placed their names on the exit control list and launched a nationwide crackdown. So far, 103 vehicles have been seized. Earlier I told you about 55, now it's 103, and this news is starting to make headlines in mainstream media. I'll reveal who is responsible once all the culprits are caught. I've held back some information because there's a major upheaval going on behind the scenes. I'm also working on exposing another scandal, and you'll see things unfolding very soon. In this billion-rupee scandal we uncovered, arrests have begun, the vehicles have been identified, and others are still being tracked. I told you earlier this was a job that could be done in 24 hours, but the government is too slow. The system is sluggish. That's why it's taking more time. But very soon, all vehicles and details will be revealed to you. Now, coming to the martyrdom of Maulana Kanzeb Sahib, the media's double standards are truly shameful. Many journalists have pointed this out. In Balochistan, some young passengers from Punjab were martyred. 9 travellers were pulled off buses and killed. Conditions in Balochistan are dire. When the militants feel like it, they hijack entire trains or buses. 2 buses were travelling and both were hijacked. The perpetrators calmly checked IDs, separated the Punjab-based passengers, took them away and executed them. It's a mockery of the nation. Is Balochistan not a part of Pakistan? Don't we pay taxes there? Aren't security forces stationed there? Don't they have a massive budget? Who is responsible? Will anyone accept responsibility and resign? No. Will anyone be held accountable or punished? No. Only emotional statements will be made. We show images and videos of grieving mothers saying, "Look how brave they are." Yes, the mothers are brave. But their sons were not at war. They were labourers from Punjab who had gone there to earn a living. They had nothing to do with any conflict. 2 sons were returning to attend their father's funeral prayer and were both martyred. Now the media is reporting it as martyred, using passive tone. Indian propaganda outlets have reported that terrorists abducted 9 passengers from a bus going from Quetta to Lahore and martyred them. On the other hand, Maulana Kanzeb, who was raising his voice for peace and protesting against the Pakistani establishment, was also martyred. According to initial reports, 5 assailants came on 2 motorcycles and fired around 35 bullets at his vehicle. One of his security personnel and Maulana Kanzeb himself were martyred. But look at how his death is being reported. Geo News, for instance, says ANP leader Maulana Kanzeb and 1 other were killed in Bajar firing. Killed? Not martyred? So 1 person is martyred and the other is merely killed. Media needs to correct its direction. Don't be more loyal to the king than the king himself. Thousands attended Maulana's funeral. It was not just a prayer, but a statement against the military operations, the occupation of mineral resources, the oppression in the tribal areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and against the drone attacks. Maulana had a firm stance against all this. A massive peace march also took place in Bara Khyber district. If you watch the footage, it will shake you. A huge number of people came out, strongly opposing the military operations. They chanted that drone attacks must stop, and not just the provincial and federal governments, they also expressed serious anger toward the military leadership. The speeches were in Pashto. If you listen, you'll understand that the people are not just upset with the military, but also with both provincial and federal governments. They repeatedly said, "We will not forgive anyone if our region's peace is destroyed." We even heard the same slogans once used by Mariam Nawaz, like, "The real terrorists wear uniforms." These slogans are now being echoed again. Why have things reached this stage? Why are such massacres allowed to happen repeatedly? Why is security not improved? Why are borders not secured? Why are people always displaced in the name of operations? Why are their resources taken over? These are the complaints of the local people. They are particularly disturbed by drones constantly hovering in the skies, which terrify the population. Murad Saeed also tweeted about this. He had earlier warned that the region, especially former Fatah areas, are being prepared for a new war by the state in pursuit of its interests. Every voice raised for peace is being silenced. Today's tragic incident in Bajar proves those fears were accurate. This is the same old playbook, suppressing voices of peace and occupying natural resources. He urged his colleagues to consider whether these peace marches should now head toward Islamabad, since voices from Khyber and Bajar are not being heard in the capital. Until the state revises its policies, we must not back down. He warned, the monster has tasted blood. It doesn't care how many rallies or tribal councils or jirgas we hold. Drone strikes continue and the voice of peace is being suppressed daily. The environment for another war is being actively created, the same Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which was once a hub of peace, where people held Pakistani military in the highest regard, now stands divided. A deep chasm has formed. All this just to humiliate one person and appease Western masters. The youth of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa now feel alienated from the state. Though they still love Pakistan and have patriotism in their hearts, their resources are plundered, they are displaced, and their blood is shed for the state's interests. Who will pacify these angry people now? Murad Saeed concluded that it is now time for the largest march in history. He said, "Those seeking new experiments with old names are mistaken. Get ready. After tribal councils decide their course, we will launch the largest protest march in history." He then added a few comments about his party and confirmed that the movement Imran Khan is leading will continue moving forward as planned. Finally, PTI, or Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, has launched its official slogan for this new movement, announced by Aliyah Hamza on her Twitter handle, "We will not rest until we win freedom." And you know, this freedom is not just for Imran Khan, but also for all those unjustly imprisoned. They say, "We will give Pakistan true freedom, and we won't rest until we free it." But at the same time, the 26 members of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, who had been expelled by the speaker, went to meet him. It was decided there that the opposition would not hold a press talk outside and wouldn't insult the government. According to reports, both sides agreed to give each other face-saving. The PMLN said that inappropriate language was used against their leadership. PTI responded that they had also been subjected to such language. So, in the interest of the country, they decided to move forward and lower the temperature. Malik Ahmed Khan revealed that he was only trying to scare them and hadn't actually filed any reference against them with the Election Commission. However, the Election Commission never denied that such a reference was filed. Malik Ahmed Khan came out after meeting the Election Commission and declared that he had filed a reference and these people were going to be disqualified. But in a later meeting he said he hadn't done anything. Still, the Election Commission, in its press release, denied everything except that point, which means they were involved in the game. It seems the Election Commission was fully complicit in this game. In fact, they appear to be part of every dirty game. Viewers, there is another story. On one hand, the entire nation is told that there is a conspiracy called Fitnat-ul-Hindustan, or India's evil plotting. And on the other hand, trade is being conducted with India. It just can't be both, can it? Either you claim that India is behind all terrorism in Pakistan. Pakistan's army spokesperson actually named Ajit Doval and vowed to crush Fitnat-ul-Hindustan in the Corps Commanders Conference, which is, fine. But at the same time, if you are trading with India and importing goods, then honestly, who will believe you? Even in the same month when hostilities with India were ongoing, trade continued. A report from a month ago revealed a mega scandal of importing $13.6 million worth of chemicals from India despite trade restrictions. This was reported by Kismat Khan. The news was also published in newspapers. It exposed a corruption scandal worth 4 billion rupees involving the import of a banned chemical. This report is by Qasim Abbasi from Islamabad. He states that a banned chemical, methyl bromide or MB, was illegally imported from India. It was allowed into Pakistan's supply chain using fake permits. Now just consider this. Since August the 5th, 2019, our trade relations with India have been suspended, and that was under Imran Khan's leadership. Yet Indian goods are still being imported. How are we fooling the nation? On one hand, we say India is behind repeated attacks on Pakistan, and on the other, we're profiting from importing goods from India, including banned items, even though there are supposed to be trade restrictions. Viewers, there's been a small shift in PMLN's stance regarding PTI's upcoming protest. Their position keeps changing, especially regarding Imran Khan's sons. Sometimes they say they'll arrest them, other times they say they'll give them protocol or allow them to meet their father, or say they can do this much, but no more. They haven't officially announced anything yet. Only Alima Khanum made a statement after speaking with the children, saying they want to come to Pakistan and campaign for their father's freedom. Honestly, I don't think they'll lead a large protest movement inside Pakistan. That's unlikely. They may try to advocate for their father's release, and that is, of course, their right. But they cannot lead a political party. The government argues that foreign citizens shouldn't protest inside Pakistan. In my view, it would be better if these two young men come to meet their father, get full details and instructions from him, and then return abroad to raise their voices on international platforms about their father and human rights violations in Pakistan. If they can effectively raise their voice, given that they are Imran Khan's sons, the world will listen and their words will carry weight, so they can play a role in that way. Protesting inside Pakistan won't bother the military establishment unless the entire nation comes out. The military doesn't care. They've become so hardened that they're indifferent. They believe people come out, get tired and go home. Those who don't leave are shot, and if someone still survives, they're jailed. That's their simple policy. It's practically a dictatorship in Pakistan. They don't care. In my opinion, if pressure comes from the international community, if the world is informed about this properly, then perhaps things could change. Viewers, yet another move has been made by a TikToker. Every few days there's a new act. Now in Murray, there's an old hospital called Samli Sanatorium. Patients come there from all over Punjab and other regions for treatment. The cardiology section of this hospital has now been renamed after Nawaz Sharif. Why do they do this? Let me explain. There are nearly 1,000 institutions named after Mariam Nawaz, Nawaz Sharif and their family, even though most of them existed long before they were even born. Many were built by others, already operational. Countless such institutions exist. They put their names on these places so that tomorrow they can claim credit and say, look, we built this too. In reality, they didn't build anything. It was all funded by public money. Everything belongs to the people. Imran Khan launched countless projects. Pervez Elahi was even more aggressive in launching projects. He used to put his name on everything. He'd call the 112 emergency service Pervez Elahi Emergency. He even tried to brand hospitals he helped build with his name. These people have done the same. But the Sharif family has taken it to another level. They slap their name on everything, whether they built it or not. Most things were built by others. They just want to take credit for it. Say, there's another scandal I'll reveal soon. How houses built during Imran Khan's tenure are being used by Mariam Nawaz and her government, and what is being done there. Some people have contacted me about it. I'll share those details. Gandapur is about to face difficulties in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa assembly. Until now, he had a free hand. He could come, speak freely, do what he wanted. The opposition was weak, barely present. They didn't even win the election properly. But after the Supreme Court allocated reserved seats like spoils of war, now women MPAs from PMLN, PPP, Fazlur Rahman's party, and others are about to enter the Provincial Assembly. You'll see the drama unfold there. These women are politically active, and once they arrive, it will be very hard to stop them. You can somewhat control men in the Assembly, but not women. I've seen it, I know this well. This is true in all political parties. The women are very energetic. So Mr. Gandapur used to deal with just 1 or 2 women in the Assembly, and that was already troublesome. Now a large number of women are coming. He'll have to face them, and it will be much more difficult for him in the Assembly. That wraps up our translation of Imran Riaz Khan's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.